For those of you who missed the introduction, I've got the amazing Pastor Nathasha van Tonder with me. She's also one of the summit speakers for our upcoming Global Virtual Entrepreneurial and Investing Summit, which will be taking place this August. So if you haven't booked your seats yet, then ladies and gentlemen, you need to book your seats. So remember, it is a women's initiative. It's arranged by women, but we welcome both men and women. So we welcome our men as well. You're welcome to attend the summit. We really believe that you're going to be getting a lot of good insights. We've got 9 expert speakers, including Pastor Nathasha, and we're going to be delivering content to you over the Saturday and the Sunday. So remember, you are able to register for all the talks, or you can just register for the talks that you are interested in. And the awesome thing about attending a virtual summit is that we get to do it from the comfort of our homes. So you can comfortably sit in any room in your home, just need your interconnection, and you would be able to participate and really enjoy the topics that will be delivered on the summit. So we will be getting into Pastor Nathasha's topic a little bit later on. But I think just for those of you who don't know her that well, I know she's got a massive network, and I'm sure some of her fans and her followers are also joining us today. But for those of you who don't know her, just to share a little bit about Pastor Nathasha. So she's not only a pastor, ladies and gentlemen, she's also an author, and she's an entrepreneur. And we're going to be talking about her business journey as well. And she's also a leadership training facilitator. She's very passionate about leadership, and we're going to be talking about that as well. So Pastor Nathasha van Tonder joined the staff at Lofdal International in January 1999. She is a wife and a mother of 3 amazing children. She graduated from Lofdal International Power School of Ministry in October 2005. In 2006, she started the Arise Women's Ministry, and we're going to be talking about that as well. Through her motivation and upliftment, she encouraged and impacted thousands of lives throughout the globe. During 2009, she attended the Haggai Institute for Intense Leadership Training, and Pastor Nathasha is actively involved not only in the upliftment of women and business leaders, but also in the upliftment and empowerment of individuals in local communities. So once again, Pastor Nathasha, welcome to our Reflections Live Talk. I'm so happy and so excited to have you join me today.
Oh, thank you, Pastor Candice.
Awesome. So I think, Pastor Nathasha, just tell me a little bit more. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. So I've given people just a brief introduction, but tell us who Nathasha van Tonder, the woman, is, as well as the pastor and the entrepreneur. Tell us more about you.
Well, hello, everybody. It's a great honor to be here. Thank you, Candice. I really appreciate it. Well, I am, first of all, before I'm everything else, I'm a wife to a businessman, Nathasha van Tonder. He's got his own sound company. He does great events and quite big events. So I'm a wife to him. I'm a mother to 3 children, Kayla, Grayson, and Matthew. My one daughter got married, and she's actually an actress. Kayla van Tonder, she plays on dance and a few movies she's playing on. And then also I'm a pastor of a church, well, with my father and my sister and a few of the other pastors, but my dad, he is the senior pastor of our church. And my whole life, I've been born in church, I live church, I eat church, I sleep church. And then also I became the dean of the Bible school, of Lofdal Power School of Ministry, Leadership School. I do our leadership mornings every Wednesday. I do leadership mornings for the church and all the leaders that want to come. And then also I do, what I also do is I'm involved in businesses, like most of you that's listening. And yes, I've got this women's ministry that's really my heart, because, you know, we are moved with compassion, and I've got compassion for women, women in leadership, women in business, women of everyday life. That's me in a nutshell. And yes, Candice.
Awesome. And I like the way you introduce yourself, Pastor Nathasha, saying that you are a wife first and you are a mother, you know, before you get to everything else in terms of your ministry and, of course, the business. So I think that already says something about, you know, having our priorities in order, isn't it? Because sometimes it's really difficult to juggle all of these responsibilities. And I mean, you've got so many responsibilities. And how do you manage? How do you do it all? How do you cope with all of the responsibilities? I mean, being a wife, being a mother, being the dean of the Bible school, and all of these other amazing roles that you play. How do you actually manage to cope with all of those responsibilities?
Well, Pastor Candice, I really believe that passion takes the effort out, and it's prioritizing. I always tell my children we have an open door policy. Doesn't matter where I am in the world, if I travel or not, they are first priority. I will stop my programs for them, but they also, because they grew up in what I'm doing, they're also part of what I'm doing. And I think that is important in any kind of business, in any kind of leadership position, is to make your family part of what you are doing and teach them passion, because when you are passionate about something and they see it, and they see there's no effort where there's passion, they actually get excited about what you are doing. And my family is my biggest cheerleader. They will, even if they're not watching now, I promise you by the end of this evening, they've been watching it, they've been sharing it. And I've learned to prioritize, and like my topic is going to say, we can be very, very, very busy, but are we productive? So what I've started to do in my life, I started to stop with the busyness. Yes. And I got to the productive part of my life, where I prioritize, is this going to work? Is it not going to work? Am I wasting we've got a lot of time wasters in our life. And I had to let go of so many things. But the most important thing is never to lose yourself in leadership, in your business. Always remember, and that's one thing I always say, because I've studied so many business people, and then they will sacrifice their families, they will sacrifice themselves, and at the end, for what? So I've prioritized my life so much that I realized that family is important, because that is the foundation we build on, is first God, then family, and then everything else.
Awesome. That's such amazing. I mean, that's really an amazing insight. And I think, you're so right to say that when you've got all of these responsibilities, it's so important to prioritize. And I've had the opportunity to also engage some women in business. Some of them are also just starting out in their journeys. And one of the things they say to me is, Candice, I've got all of these responsibilities, and, how do I move my business forward in the midst of everything? And I think one of the things that you've just highlighted now is that it's so important to prioritize and to make sure that you try and incorporate and make your family part of what you're doing. And I found even on my side that really makes a huge difference. I think when your family know what you are doing and why you're doing it, and we find certain opportunities and platforms where they can even work with you and engage with you on those platforms, it even gives us an opportunity to spend time together as family. So I think it's really about also knowing one another's interests and finding ways to connect, so that your family remains part of what you do. But of course, you're right, it's so important to get those priorities in order. And I must say, I know we're going to be talking about your talk later on, but I look so forward to it, because really in today's time, we need to become more productive, Pastor Nathasha.
That's right.
We need to become more productive. So like you said, you've had to take the busyness out of your schedule. And I want to know, are you going to be talking about that as part of your talk, about how you actually went about taking the busyness out of your schedule and actually being in the position where you are today, where you are more productive across the various areas?
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to talk about that, because that is so important, Candice. But I just want to say something just to get back, and then I will get back to this. Yes. Remember, if you're a mother and you're in business, always ask your children for ideas. You will be amazed with what ideas they can come up with. And, it's the little things that can make that difference in your business. I'm sure that I'm going to talk about how I cut out the busyness about my life, because I used to come into my house. I used to leave my house 8:30, go to the office, come back 2 o'clock, get my children from school, bring them back. And then about 3 o'clock, I had to leave again to go to church. So it was always churches, or I always had to see people. And now, and this is just a simple example I'm going to use right now, but I'm going to leave the others for Saturday. But you know, people that want to drink coffee with you all the time. And they want, in your busy schedule, you still need to see this one and that one. And sometimes what they could say, what they can tell you over a telephone, they want to tell you over a cup of coffee. So now, just a little small example, I will ask them, okay, would you like to have coffee with me as a friend or as an influencer? And if it's somebody, if they want my opinion about something, yes, I will make time. But if it's just to be my friend, I always tell them I will have time for that, but then I do like a group thing where I have everybody that wants to have coffee with me. Because to drink, if about 100 ladies ask you for coffee, Pastor Candice, in a week, it's rough. And that used to be time consuming. And it's not that they're not important, because they are. But I had to realize that all these coffee dates, first of all, you pay for it. Second of all, it's your time, and it doesn't last 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Sometimes it's 2 to 3 hours out of your day sitting and talking about sometimes nonsense. And then it's so many hours of your day that's lost. So yes, I am very, very strict with my time, because you can always get money back. You can always get a lot of things back, but your time, you will never get back. And that's why it's so important to me. Even through lockdown, people wanted to have coffee with me. And I was like, lockdown was my best excuse. I said, sorry, I can't, I'm in lockdown. So remember, not every invite. You don't have to accept every invite. You don't have to go to every function and bride. You need to really just decide what is important. And that's what I did.
Yes, and that's so true. And I can just imagine, I mean, with the ministry and also the Women's Initiative you're working on, how many people really want to just spend time with Pastor Nathasha van Tonder. So yes, sometimes you have to become wise. I like the idea about doing the group coffee session. So that's a good one. I think I can also work with that one in the future. So instead of doing a one-on-one, you just invite everyone that wants to have coffee, invite them to that coffee date, and that's where we get together. So that's really awesome. Now, Pastor Nathasha, tell us about your Rise Women's Ministry. So I know that you launched this particular platform in 2006, and I know that you and I share passion for uplifting women and also for empowering and equipping women. So just tell us a little bit more about your focus areas as far as the Rise Women's Ministry is concerned.
My focus areas for this women's ministry that I've started was really to uplift and really build character and confidence in women, and let women realize, don't lose your courage, because if you lose your courage, you lose your confidence. Literally, if you lose your confidence, you lose your identity. And that is the platforms we really build on and work on. And it's nothing from the outside. We're literally working from the inside, teaching women value. And what I used to do is I used to have my own fashion line. So what Vanti Fashion would have done is we would go into rural areas, dress up women, give them each an outfit. If there was 20 women modeling an outfit, they're going to go home with that outfit. Give them each an outfit and tell them you are valuable. And it's not where you're coming from. It's not who you are born from even. It's because God has a plan and a purpose for everyone. If you are living on the street, God has still have a plan and a purpose for you. Yes. I see value on the person on the street. I see value in everybody, because I always look at people and I'm like, God loved you so much that he created you for a time such as this. And the fact that you are alive, living on the street, being a CEO of a company, doesn't matter. Just being a house executive, it doesn't matter. God valued enough that he gave you life. And you know, sometimes I always say, behind the high walls hides many broken women. And I really love to teach women. It's just to break through the opinion of people and to see God and to find themselves in God. And that to me, it's very important. So we really take women by the hand and just from the inside out, restoring them. We're not fixing their outfits first. That's not what we
Yes.
do. But we're
Yes.
fixing their hearts, get their hearts healed, made whole, delivered, and set free so that they can walk a life and to look not at worldly stuff, but to look at the value that carry on the inside of them. And that's really my heartbeat for women. And I work in communities. I work every platform, every kind of woman. I don't have a particular woman I'm working with
Yes.
because we have our women's rehab center. I'm involved there, and we have a safe house for women that I'm counseling some of the ladies there. So it's very important that you have, when you have a ministry, it's not to classify people and
Yes.
to put them into, you know, like I say, the money game, like you've got enough money, I want to spend time with you. No, it's never about that. It's
Yes.
always about that one life you can touch and change.
Amen. Amen. And that's so important. And you know, you're right, as women, you know, sometimes we walk around with a lot of brokenness on the inside and no one really knows and sees it. And I've also learned in my personal walk, Pastor Nathasha, that if you are not well, if you are not healed on the inside, it's very difficult for you to be able to do anything else outside of that. So what I mean by that is successfully pursuing your work career, whatever that may be, or working on your business, or working on your ministry, or on your NGO, whatever it is that God has placed on your heart. If we are not taking care of ourselves on the inside first and restoring that relationship back to God, then it's going to be very difficult for us to move forward. A friend of mine, we were actually connecting last week, and I said to her, we were talking about business opportunities, and I said to her, I don't know how people do it without God.
That's
I don't know how people, honestly, I don't know how they do it, because if it was not for God's goodness, for his grace, for his wisdom, for his strength, for his direction, you know, if it wasn't for all of these things, I personally know that I wouldn't have been able to move any of my business goals forward, any of my personal goals forward, if it was not for the goodness of God. So I really don't know how other people do it outside of God. And I love what you do, the fact that you say, as part of ministry, you don't have a particular audience of women that you work with. You know, you are there for every woman who needs that type of healing, that type of upliftment, and it doesn't matter where you come from. So if you are out there and you are listening, I know, Pastor Nathasha, you currently, do you have branches outside of Cape Town, or are you just working within the Cape Town region as far as your ministry is concerned?
Our church has branches outside of Cape Town, but me, myself, I work in the Brackenfell venue, but we run our other ministries from the main campus. That's where I'm at. Yes, we've got, in Johannesburg, we've got satellite churches. We've got in Oudtshoorn, Traval, you know, all these little places. We
Yes.
have places to, if I have to name everybody, we're going to sit here like the whole day. And also we have in America, we have our awakening services that's out there. And my father, Dr. Gustav, he fathers many churches in America and overseas.
Awesome. Now, if people want to get hold of you or get in touch with your ministry, Pastor Nathasha, where can they connect with you? Do you have a website address or email address that they can contact you through?
I am on Facebook. I love Facebook. I used to have a website, but I realized Facebook is your best platform to advertise and just have your page. I've got Pastor Nathasha van Tonder ministry page, and then it's Arise Women's Ministry. So you can type in Arise Women's Ministry or just Pastor Nathasha van Tonder, and you will find me on Facebook.
Awesome. Thank you for that. What we'll also do is, when we're done with our talk today, we will also make sure that we add your social media handles as far as Facebook is concerned. So everyone, if you are listening, we will make sure that we add Pastor Nathasha's social media handles on the chat, and then you would be able to connect with her Arise Women's Ministry, and you'll also be able to connect with her directly via social media. So for those of you who would like to learn more about a ministry, maybe you want to get involved in a ministry, or maybe you are a woman out there who needs that type of care, who needs that type of ministry, that type of healing, and you want to connect with her on a platform, please make sure that you then just connect with her via social media handles. So that's awesome. And then Pastor Nathasha, so you said you started, so I think for those of you who are out there, maybe just to tell people a little bit about how you and I met. So for those of you who are listening to us right now, just to share with you, so I think it was about almost a year ago, I was introduced to Pastor Nathasha via Pastor Siva. So Pastor Siva is a pastor that I was introduced to via our church. And we had spent lots of time with Pastor Siva, whether it be in cell group or whether it be just ministering, listening to him. He's passionate about people. He loves talking to people, getting to know everyone. So he'll always put in the effort to connect with you. And of course, he and I and some of my family and the people in our cell group, we developed a relationship over the last couple of years. And Pastor Siva has always been following everything that I've been doing. And one day he just reached out to me and he said to me, Candice, I can see you busy with this, Women in Business initiative, and I can see you doing some work around women upliftment and empowerment. And I really think that you need to connect with Pastor Nathasha. She's an amazing woman. And I've also had the opportunity and the privilege to be part of their ministry. And I really think that you need to make it, one of your priorities. I don't know why, but I just feel like the two of you need to connect. So of course, I always take what he says seriously because I also have a lot of respect for him. And one day I was planning my travels to Cape Town for other business reasons. And I said, let me use this opportunity to connect with Pastor Nathasha. Let me see if she's going to be open and available, to connect with me too. So of course I made contact with her and she was I'm so glad I got a coffee date. So in the midst of all the priorities. Oh, I'm just teasing. I know you said. So thank God I got a coffee date and I met with Pastor Nathasha on my business travels to Cape Town at the time. And we had such a good talk. It was so comfortable and I so connected with everything that she was sharing. And of course, it was from there onwards that the relationship really developed. But what she was sharing with me at the time was that she also had a fashion label. So she also had her own business. And of course, I connected with her there too, because I also started my business journey in the retail space with Crystal Garnet Bridal Boutique. So just tell us also, Pastor Nathasha, just about that particular venture. You started it, I believe you started it also some years back. And I know you said that you've since closed the business. Has it been closed permanently or has it just been put on hold?
Well, the business has been put on hold because I started to travel so much and, that I couldn't give all my focus to the business, and you need to focus on what you are doing. So that I just placed it on hold. But how it started was I was sitting at the launch of somebody, a very famous artist, and I literally heard God tell me, how many times are you going to sit in other people's dreams and not living your own? And I was like, Lord, what are you saying? And then I realized, but every time I have a women's conference, I have like little bags made, or I've always given out something. And at my daughter's school at that time, I saw this little bag and this child were running with it. And I recognized that's my bag, From this conference, I only had like a few hundred made. And there's no way you can't buy it anyway because it was my own design. And right there in my heart, I'm like, what if other people wear my clothes? And that is literally how I started my fashion brand. I got people, I just literally at that time, Candice, when I started it, it was about 8 years ago, 8 years ago. When I started it, I will just tell people about it and they invested in it. I was like, wow, And then I became so busy ministry-wise that I neglected the business side and I had to choose what I'm going to do. And you can be in ministry and you can be in business, because I am still involved in my husband's business and I'm still involved in business. But at that point, I couldn't give all my attention to it. And I just said, Lord, I'm going to put this on hold. I'm going to do what you want me to do now. I know it's not something that I have to like throw aside or just let go. You know what I did with the clothes and everything in my little shop? I gave my whole shop away for free. You know, I just blessed somebody with it. And when I did that, I said, Lord, this is seed in the ground for when I'm going to pick this up and redo it again. I'm busy designing new clothes, and I'm also busy with a natural skincare, me and my sister, and we call it, it's not launched yet, so I'm just going to say the name out there, and it's going to be called Natural Sisters. We registered that already, so we are excited about it, but it's not going to be like an overnight thing. So we know it's going to take time because of the process and developing of product and stuff. So we are excited about that. So even if you are busy with something and you cannot focus on it, just put it on hold. Don't throw it out. Don't throw the baby out with the washing water. You know, don't, just put it on hold and you pick it up when it's the right time.
Amazing. And you're actually ministering to me now as well, Pastor Nathasha. So I believe what you're sharing now, you actually just shared a word to me. And, you know, God was speaking to me about my business, so Crystal Garnet Bridal Boutique. So what happened was I'd also started the business some time back. And of course, I had to re-strategize, you know, moving forward in terms of, you know, the areas I needed to focus on as far as business was concerned. And I also had to follow God's guidance as far as that is concerned. You know, we prayed to God, we asked him to guide and direct us. And when he's leading you in a certain position or certain direction, then it's important for you to listen to him and make sure that you obey. So of course, I also changed strategy slightly as far as business initiatives have been concerned. But yesterday, you know, my husband actually had one of my videos from still my early days in business, and he actually put it on there. And I was so surprised that when I listened to it, somehow my heart was still connected to it, you know, in some way. And I was just like thinking to myself, what's happening here? It's almost as if this thing, you know, is starting to wake up again, you know. And of course, you just shared some words with me now. So, you know, sometimes you're right, God will allow us just to park some dreams. But if God has put something in your heart, you know, and that thing does not want to leave you, that means that it's been put in your heart for a reason. And yes, maybe it's not always for the season that we think it's supposed to be, but at the right season, at the right time, God will allow us to actually step into, you know, whatever that dream is. So thanks for sharing with us there, Pastor. And all the best with your skincare range. I think that's amazing. And I know also as far as your business is concerned, like you say, you've planted the seed, and at the right time, you will reap your harvest as far as that seed is concerned, because God is not mocked. Whatever we sow, we will reap. Hey? So, yeah. So I know you will reap in abundance. So that's awesome. And then you also published, and this is the last point that we can, because there's so much that we can talk about as far as Pastor Nathasha's bio is concerned, everyone. I promise you, I literally had to spend time going through it thinking, okay, what are the most critical things I think we need to talk about as far as our reflections talk is concerned. So it really wasn't easy, you know, taking out some of those items. But one of the items that I've also noted, and this is our last one, is that you also published a dream journal. And you said you published it with the aim to inspire women to dream, and also to dream bigger, and also to dream the impossible, and to trust God as part of that process. So I just want to ask if you can just tell us a little bit about that dream journal. Is it available anywhere? Can we purchase it online? Maybe just share also why you put that particular journal together, and then of course where we are able to get that journal.
Thank you. I did do a dream journal. It's out of print because I literally, at that time, I thought I just wanted to do like a 500, you know, only for 500 women. And I promise you, as soon as we had the dream journal, it was out immediately. People bought it, and it was just for ladies. You know, you can carry a dream on your heart, in your heart. But when it's in your heart, it's going to stay in your heart. But as soon as you write down your vision and your goals, it's like there's like literally a 90% chance of that dream happening. Because if you see it before you, what you see before you will manifest in your life. You cannot just keep it in your heart. And that was really just to teach women to write down the vision, to set goals, to set time limits, and when to achieve those goals. And also a lot of blank pages to write down your dreams and your goals, and to write down, I had like a little thing where I said your excuse page, you know, where you write down all your excuses why you can't do it. And I know I was actually going to do an excuse journal, you know, and a fear journal. I write it down, because many times we have so many excuses. We carry this dream on the inside of you, and you have this passion, but just because we are so fearful and we have so many excuses why things can't happen, instead of looking at why things can happen, you know, and we put all these limits in our life. And that was really just to help people break out and break through and break forth out of that thing that is binding them and keeping them back. And that's why I, at that time, did it. My first batch I printed, and then a lady came and she said, "This is so good." And not because because of me, it was just because of the concept that God gave me. And she actually had a few hundred printed again, twice, where she went and she dished it out. And it went to America, it went to Asia, it went to a few other countries, that people just took the book and and I told them, one batch, I literally said, give it out for free. Don't sell it. And am I going to do another book? I don't know yet. I'm in the process of writing another book, but not a dream journal. It's literally about ethics, church ethics, business ethics. So I'm more excited about that than the dream journal. But I don't think in the near future I'm going to bring out another one. But I don't know what the future holds.
Yes, awesome. No, but that's amazing, and all the best with the new book that you are working on, the one that you say is on ethics. I look forward to it, and please do communicate and share with us once it's ready and we can purchase it. I definitely would like to also support you on that. So, Pastor Nathasha, we've got some people here online. I would just like to say thanks to Veronica Hansen and Casey Walton. She's also from your network, and she says, Pastor Nathasha, you are an amazing teacher. And we also have Lena joining us, and then of course all the other names that I mentioned earlier on. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for connecting with us, and thanks for joining us. And thank you so much for your comments that you've shared, Veronica and Casey. We really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Now, Pastor Nathasha, so just talk to us now about your topic for the upcoming summit. So just to mention to everyone once again, as I said in the beginning of our talk today, Pastor Nathasha is one of our speakers for our upcoming summit, which is our SME Women Global Virtual Entrepreneurial and Investing Summit, and it will be taking place from the 22nd to the 23rd of August 2020. So if you haven't booked your seat yet, please make sure that you book your seat today. And I promise you, you will be empowered, you will be equipped, you will be inspired to really take your business from one level of success to the next level. And also we believe that not just in business and in finances, but we also believe that you will be empowered and inspired as a person. So if you are someone who's out there, maybe you've lost your job, maybe your business has gone down due to the impact of COVID-19, wherever you find yourself today, if you are out there and you're not quite sure where to go from where you are, come and join us. You will get some good insights and learnings and opportunities, and you will be introduced to amazing speakers who are doing amazing work. And I promise you, I know that you will be empowered and you will be inspired from where you are today. So it's not the end of you. God has got a plan and a purpose for your life. And we believe that through the summit, He will also be ministering to you and telling you about what's to come and where He wants you to, or which areas He wants you to focus on. So please remember, register for our upcoming summit. We're really looking forward to connecting with all of you. And of course, I also look forward to hearing Pastor Nathasha's talk. And she's now just going to tell us a little bit more about the talk. She's going to tell us what her topic is, and also the benefits and the importance of why you need to register and attend her particular talk. So if you can just share with us, Pastor Nathasha.
Thank you, Candice. My topic is going to be stop procrastinating and just do it, you know, because many times we we are, like I said, like through this whole thing, we are so busy, but there's no productivity. And we are in endless meetings and we are endless planning, but we never go over to action. And I really, through this summit, I want to help you to go from just planning and sitting in these endless meetings to go over to action, and also how to prioritize when you go over to action. You know, one day I listened to this lady and she said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I had to start counting on my hands. It was at that time a 2-year-old, and then a 5-year-old, and then a 9-year-old, you know. And I was like, I'm the average of that. That's my children. So I became best friends with Zig Ziglar, with Brian Tracy, with John Maxwell, Dr. Gustav de Toy, and Teresa Valfoy, and they became the voices in my head concerning what I had to do. So even in that, I had to prioritize my day, because, you know, as a visionary, and as a person that carries a team, if it's a Sunday school, a church, a school, even your home, as that visionary, you're going to have a team under you. And yes, you're going to have the vision, but at the end of the day, it's going to be the team that's going to bring that vision into fulfillment. And, you know, if you have a lazy team that's having coffee the whole time and having, you know, your team is just as strong as your weakest link. And if you're going to have that team that's going to be overthrown with work and they don't know where to start and how to prioritize, you're going to have serious problems. But if you have a team that know how to prioritize and know how to bring structure to the vision and you know, how to, like Brian Tracy will say, eat that frog, the biggest task at hand, do that first. Now, I literally want to help you to prioritize and just go over from dream to action, and just not sit and wait for better days. And that's really what my topic is about. I'm excited about it. I hope to see you. And I also want to say, don't just log in for one person. Go and listen to everybody. I was thinking I should still register for because I'm going to be busy from Friday. I'm going to be in the summit. I hope to see you there. I'm excited, because always remember, you need to grow where you want to go. You cannot be stagnated where you are and think you're going to bring change. Because yes, you can learn for something, but every year the strategy changes. There's new things coming, and that's why it's important to invest in yourself, invest in your growth. Like I said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So get connected to these awesome ladies this weekend and start to grow. I'm excited. Thank you, Candice.
Awesome. Thanks, Pastor Natasha. I like that. You need to grow to where you need to go. I love that. So thank you for sharing that with us. And yes, we will have amazing female speakers as well as male speakers. So we've got Leroy and Oliver who will also be joining us as part of our summit. So you can see Pastor Natasha right behind me there. The lady's got the hand on her chin. That's her. So we're definitely looking forward to her talk as well. And Pastor Natasha's right. So don't just register for one talk, ladies and gentlemen. Register for all the talks. So invest in yourself, invest this time into yourself, and make sure that you connect with all of these amazing speakers, all of them covering different topics, experts in their various fields, and they're going to be helping you to move your business, your financial, and your personal goals forward through the information that will be delivered and shared. And of course, there are other opportunities that we will also be sharing with you that will also be able to help you just increase your financial income as you move your goals forward. So we really look forward to connecting with you all. Thank you once again, Pastor Natasha. Thank you so much for sharing. And I think I must just mention this one thing, because I know some people are going to ask me about this, Pastor Natasha, after this. So ladies and gentlemen, I am not a pastor, but Pastor Natasha calls me Pastor Candice all the time. I've said that to her, but I think she's probably speaking into my life. I don't know. But she calls me Pastor Nathasha, and even her team, she's got a lady that I also engage with occasionally, and even Adele calls me Pastor Candice. So for those of you, in case my pastors out there are wondering, Candice, when did you become a pastor? I have told Pastor Nathasha, but so it's just in her. So I don't know if God's trying to give me a message here, but if you're comfortable with that, Pastor Nathasha, you just continue. So thank you so much. Thank you for your time. God bless you. And we look forward to connecting with you.
Thank you, Pastor Candice. You are a blessing.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We look forward to connecting with you on our summit, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.